Hey everyone, this is Tom from VermiBag. I'm going to do another update on the VermiBag Max trash bag. It's been about 2 weeks since I did the last update, and today I'm going to go ahead and add a lot more cardboard, shredded up cardboard boxes and items to it. Now last week I did add some food into the system, and then I took some of my bedding and I filled it up to the top. But I'm also doing one little change to the system, and that's thanks to basically Lilian Kogen and also Matt with Nightcrawler Composting. They were both using some plastic. I think Matt was using Priority Mail mailers, which are a bubble wrap, and Lilian was using some plastic sheets. Now I've always used cardboard on the top, or a lot of times newspaper, and I'd wet it down and stuff, but VermiBags will dry out just a little bit at the very surface. And it's not a big deal. As soon as you go down about an inch, it's perfectly moist. But the worms won't work that top inch if it's not moist. So when it dries out, there won't be any worms at the very top. So let's take a look in here. I'll show you what I've done, and I think it actually worked really, really well. I'm probably going to start doing it on most of my systems. Let's take a look inside here. Unzip it. So what I've done in this system now is placed a sheet of this really thin bubble wrap. I cut it for, just roughly fits in into the VermiBag Max Perfect on all sides. And when you get the bubble wrap, there's two sides to this bubble wrap. One side's smooth and the other side has the bumps on it. So I'm putting the bump side down and stuff because it's still allowing a lot of airflow to go through the system. All this really does is keep the surface area, the very top surface, from drying out, but it doesn't really impede the airflow whatsoever. So let's take a look underneath here and see what it looks like. The worms are just literally everywhere in here, right at the surface. And these are all the African night crawlers for the most part. And this is the trash bin again. So I threw in a few more scraps of cardboard here recently, and I also did throw some more fruits and vegetables in here last week. So, but this whole top layer, you can see how thick the worms are in here. Absolutely anywhere I go. Now they're all in the food right now, but all this cardboard that I'm putting in this system is really starting to break down now, the stuff that's down deep. Underneath these oranges, well, these oranges are put in holes, so I'm actually going to break them up. They haven't even been, I forgot to break them up after I put them in. So these African night crawlers are doing fabulous inside this bag. I think it's the combination of a lot of carbon, and then there's lots of carbon sources in this thing. I mean, look how big some of these are, and they're also fat. For African night crawlers, sometimes they'll get really, really skinny and long, but these are really nice looking worms. So I'm going to go ahead and actually add more carbon sources to this today. I'm going to go ahead and rip up some cardboard, and so basically just put cardboard and bedding. Because I have a fairly large layer of food that I put in last week, and the oranges haven't even been touched because I forgot to bust them open. So I'll break them open, add a bunch of cardboard and some bedding, mix it in, and then again I'm going to lay this little thin sheet of bubble wrap over the top of it, and it really has been doing wonders. It really locks the moisture in to the top of the surface of this bag, and it still allows for great airflow in the system. Okay, so I have a whole bucket of cardboard that I shredded up, boxes. I got some Pop-Tart boxes, Captain Crunch, paper sacks, granola boxes, and then just regular big cardboard boxes. So I just soaked it in water. It makes it softer and keeps it moist, because if you put in too much dry cardboard or paper sources in here, it's going to pull a lot of the moisture out. So I'm just going to wring this stuff out lightly and throw it into the bag. And then I'll position it all once I get it all in there. So I'll get a majority of the water out of it. And I don't care if there's a fair amount of water left in it and stuff. The VermiBag can handle that moisture. Okay, that's all the cardboard. I'll reposition this and I'll grab some bedding. So here's all the cardboard that's in the bag. There's probably about an inch of it, I suppose. But there's a fair amount. I mean, there's 4 cereal box type items, a big cardboard box, a big sack, and some other miscellaneous cardboard items. Once you soak it up and then squish it down and stuff, it doesn't seem like very much, but I mean, you can see there's quite a bit of material here. So I'm just going to position that there. Then I have some of the bedding that I make, and I'm going to dump at least 2 of these tubs of bedding in here, and then I'm going to mix it in really well. There's some basically mixed in well with the cardboard, where it doesn't layer down and create any areas that might possibly start to stagnate a little bit. Because eventually the more the cardboard is spread apart and separated, the faster it will disintegrate. The faster the worms will get into it. Now again, underneath this there was a good layer of food scraps that I put in last week. So we'll take a peek at this in a few days. I may and do a little video and see how much the worms came up into this bedding. One more. So I'm going to end up with 4 big tubs. So each one of these is at least a gallon. So this is about 4 gallons of bedding that I'm putting on the top, because I want all that cardboard covered. So about like that. Then I'm going to take my handy dandy bubble wrap, put the bubbles on the downside, stick it on top of there lightly. Close it up and take a peek at it next week, see what it looks like. That's all for today. This is Tom from VermiBag. Ciao.